Barakta Yahweh, Barakta Yahushai, Barakta Yahweh, Barakta Yahushai, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Kakadash. This is Brother Nash DC Camp, double honors and salutations to the elders and apostles of Great Stone of the Word and the Akim, preaching the word of Yah Ba'ashem Yahshai with sincerity and a diligent heart, a right diligent mind. So, it just keeps getting worse, man, for the Northern Kingdom. This immigration issue is tough, but it's rough, man. A lot of folks trying their darnest best to make it to Babylon, but they don't understand that this is the place of future judgment for according to the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai. All right, so they're gonna experience extreme difficulties, man. They're gonna be you know put through that crucible, that adversity, that furnace of adversity. You know, during the time of Jacob's trouble, they have to deal with it. Martial law, the violence in the streets, the breakdown of society, and the mark of the beast, the RFID chip that the Holy Scripture talks about. All right, so they don't really understand what they're coming over here for, man. They don't really get it. So that's one thing about this world, man. The cares of the world is very dangerous. It has a vibration that folks just think they want to care about safety and security, food, shelter, clothing, all that stuff. That's irrelevant, before the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai. What really counts is the knowledge, understanding, and the wisdom of the Holy Scriptures for our people, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. But they seem not to grasp that message. When we're out there on the highways and byways, they don't really get it, unless the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai intervenes, spiritually. But they're choosing not to, count on the words of the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai. They're always talking about, they want to find, leniency and get some asylum, So they're going to experience the brunt of Esau's evil, Esau's wickedness.
¿Y sentías segura en esos centros?
No.
And there's the curses people have to deal with, man. Whether you're gonna get the whole story or not, it doesn't change that our people are stuck at the border. They're stuck in the detention facilities. So it's not just the Northern Kingdom. We also have the Southern Kingdom too. Folks from Haiti, from West Africa. That make that long trip. To come to the back roads of South America to America. All right, so they're gonna have to deal with Esau's system of oppression. All right, and then just get a quick precept here from the Holy Scriptures. This is gonna be from Deuteronomy chapter 28. All right, so let me just slow down the Wi-Fi. I'm tired of all those crazy pop-ups. All right, so back to the point there. So this is going to be Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 65. All right, so it says, among these nations shalt thou find no ease. All right, so there's not going to be peace of mind for our people, man. You're going to be subjected to all kinds of sadness and madness of this society. The loss of family structure, the lack of confidence, they're going to be stressed out, working all kinds of crazy hours and shifts for, less than, you know, you know, a substantial, what you call fair wage. All right. So it says, neither shall the sole of thy foot have rest. And that's one thing that people don't really get, man. They keep thinking that, by running from country to country, by trying to evade deportation, that, they will have a way out. By either they could just go along and, you know, turn themselves into the government. Maybe they'll receive mercy and all that stuff. But that's not exactly what the Lord Yahweh Shai is expecting of them to do. Rather than them holding on to the words of the Lord Yahweh Shai, they're concerned about the cares of this world. There's nothing wrong with having a family, having a job, finding a stable environment. But when that becomes a top priority, and then the word of the Lord becomes a non-issue, then it becomes a problem. All right. So it says, "But the Lord Yahweh Shai shall give thee there a trembling heart, and unfailing of eyes, and sorrow of mind." And that's exactly what this Israelite, woman is experiencing, man. She lost her daughter, you know, in the so-called detention facility, and now she got to give a sad story. And then they also, folks that lose their children on the journey here, through South America and South Central America.
Vinimos a Estados Unidos, donde yo esperaba construir una vida mejor y más segura para mi hija Marie. Lastimosamente, vi morir a mi niña, lenta y muy dolorosamente, unos meses antes de su segundo cumpleaños. Ella dejó de existir. Me duele revivir esta experiencia y recordar lo que yo sufrí. Pero
And that's all it is, man. It's one of Esau's tactics, man, to make it difficult, man, for the so-called Americans to have control over their so-called society. So he's gonna push all these politicians into top positions to block the people from making meaningful changes to the unjust laws on the books, and then it's going to flood the borders from the bottom. So the people, so-called Americans, are screwed, me. They're jammed from the top, they're jammed from the bottom. So that's the game plan of the elites, man, to destroy America, and that's what the Lord Yahweh Shai has put in the minds of these elites that control, the so-called Federal Reserve, that control, the Defense Department, that control Congress, Department of Education, Department of Commerce, the Census Bureau, Wall Street, every aspect of life on the face of the earth. These folks, man, they are serious, man. So when they call America the melting pot, they're just dumping every ingredient in it, man. So it's just a prelude to the so-called race war, man. It's gonna be so messed up. The tension is gonna reach a boiling point, man. And then you have the so-called border patrol agents talking about they're not pleased with the way the politicians are doing their so-called so-called work. They turning the situation to a political football, to break the will of the people. So the Constitution is being, turned into a piece of toilet paper, and folks' hands are tied, man. They're upset, and then you're gonna see folks start forming um, militia groups to be patrolling the border. And then you have so many jakes that die out there in the desert of dehydration and malnutrition, and then they get killed by so-called coyotes or all these overzealous, border patrol agents, or all these so-called militia members, man. So it's so many things we don't hear about, man. So this is part of the curses, man, that our people have to endure. All right, and then if you go to the book of Hosea, chapter 9. And verse 13, it says, "Ephraim, as I saw, Tyrus, is planted in the pleasant place, but Ephraim shall bring forth his children to the murderer." So the tribe of Ephraim, represents the so-called Puerto Ricans, and they already have that so-called American citizenship, from the get-go. All right, but they rather come up here to the United States, and that's just a part of prophecy. So wherever the head tribe goes, man, the so-called, so-called other nations of South America, we want to follow along too. So that's the point right there. So Mexicans, already have been here. So you got more Guatemalans, more Salvadorians, more Hondurans. They're gonna want to come up here too. Chile, Argentina, Paraguay, Brazil. They want to come up here too. Paraguay, Peru, Bolivia. They want to make it up here to the United States. So it's just part of the prophecy that our Lord Abashim Shai is letting it come to pass, man. So that way, when you're breaking it down to these folks out there on the highways and byways and even on the internet, they understand that the so-called Latinos are Israelites that the Bible speaks of, okay? And then you get another precept here from Isaiah chapter 42, verse 22. So it says, but this is a people robbed and spoiled. They are all of them snared in holes and are hid in prison houses, all right, or detention centers, and South America, Central America, is filled with so many resources. But Esau, has put his so-called Uncle Toms, of our nation, in those positions, to rape and pillage, to destroy, the people's will, to seek, a proper mode of living, the proper way of living, So our people are being oppressed, because there is no unity. The so-called leaders of our people rather go along with Esau's power structure, so they could, what you call it, embezzle, and mistreat the people. You hear about all the coup that happened in Latin America. It didn't happen because Esau wanted to do it alone by himself, because our people in those positions decided to go along. And they have mass killings and, destructions of property and injuries and all that stuff. So that's just what madness our people have gotten accustomed to. Where they're gonna go? They rather go to Esau's geographical location, and seek protection, and then they become twice the slave that they were. All right, and then they don't understand what the Lord Abashima Shai is trying to tell them, that they need to wake up. All right, so this is gonna be another precept here from the book of Hosea, chapter 7, verse 11. And it says, Ephraim also is like a silly dove without heart. They call to Egypt, they go to Assyria. All right. So it says in verse 12, when they shall go, I will spread my net upon them. I will bring them down as the fowls of the heaven. I will chastise them as their congregation I heard. So that's what the Lord Abashim Shai is doing, man. He's chastising our people, is putting them through that course of difficulty, man. That straight and straight part of life. They're not catching no breaks.
Estoy aquí porque el mundo debe saber lo que está sucediendo con tantos niños en las cárceles dentro de la detención de ICE. Mi hermosa niña se ha ido ahora, pero espero que su historia estimule al gobierno de los Estados Unidos a actuar para que niños no mueran por negligencia y maltrato que dan.
And that's the trick, that Esau likes to use, to use children as a pedestal for his policy to create legislation to undermine the Constitution, to overload so-called American neighborhoods with folks that just come in from a different location, and then you have tensions, you have fights and all that stuff because the folks don't know any better. What they're bringing themselves into. They don't understand that this is the fact of the shadow of death. For you to be in a place like this, you gotta pray the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai protects you, on a spiritual level. Because it's no joke, man. Once they get here, they understand that it's hard working a minimum wage, $7 an hour, $8 an hour, and then you gotta deal with insults. You can't barely get enough rest and sleep. The neighborhood is a mess because the landlord does not have the funds or doesn't want to spend the funds to keep the property, up to date. He wants to sell to a developer, and then the folks in the neighborhood have to get up and move and find somewhere else. They don't understand that, that Babylon, man, the foundation is not stable. So end of the day, man, the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai will have to bring that whip upon their behind, okay? So I get one final precept, just let you know that our people need to stick with the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai, all right? Let's see if I could look at... all right. So, yep. And if you look at... yep. So just look at it, man. It says, Ephraim is smitten, verse 16, Hosea 9 and 16. Ephraim is smitten, their roots is dried up. They shall bear no fruit. Yea, though they bring forth, yet will I slay even the beloved fruit of their womb. And that's what they're gonna have, man. They're worried about their children. So it's gonna be sad. A lot of mothers, say parents, man, fathers and mothers will be, upset that their children are dying. They're going through all kinds of ailments. So it doesn't matter if the child is a month old, 3 months old, a teenager. They're gonna be dying, and they won't be able to send word back to their family back home, in Latin America. So it's just messed up, man. So hey, Abaratiza, the Lord Abba Shema Shai, ends this chapter of sadness in Jake's history. That's why we pray the Lord Abba Shema Shai hastens the day. And like Yahweh Shai says, if those days are not shortened, no flesh shall be saved. So it's beautiful, to understand the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai is bringing this to pass. And that, salvation is on the way, man. Because seeing our people in this condition of sadness is, it's, very, very, very touching. But you have to understand, man, this is what the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai, brought upon our people for our disobedience. So we just got to pray that, that salvation comes quick, and that our people, stop the lollygagging and get down with the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai's business. So that's the point that I can, Baratazar make some more lessons, Lord Yahweh Shema Shai, gives me the inspiration to put up some more lessons, man, because this immigration issue is no joke, man. It's a very touchy subject, man. Even brothers that so-called think that they have American citizenship, could be mistaken for illegal immigrants. You get hemmed up by ICE. You get all kinds of crazy comments. Like speak English. Where you from? And all that stuff. So just gotta deal with it, man, from a spiritual standpoint, because we do not we're not in control of this situation. The Lord Yahweh Shemashah is in control. So I say, Ka halal Yahweh Bashim Yashah Bashim Kwakadash, to the elders and apostles of God who rule well, Shalom. So I can, just keep your eyes and ears open, man. Shalom.